Hey everyone, in this video we will go over how to set up an engineering drawing. Engineering drawings are important for communicating your design and its functions so that your design can be recreated. On your drawing, there are several items that are typically shown. The first being standard views. Make sure to include as many that are necessary, and often that'll be your top, front, and side view, which is typical for third angle projection. You can add more views or omit a view if it is not needed. These views must be dimensioned. The tolerance can also be included, or they can be found in the header. Some engineering drawings might include an isometric pictorial, but they are not necessary. The next important piece of information for your engineering drawing is the header or the main title block. This is where we can include important information such as material used, ownership, revision history, scale, etc. Finally, there is always an area reserved for additional notes if needed. In a previous video, we have gone over how to set up your engineering drawings in Inventor. Feel free to go back to that video or pause the video here to set up your drawing. We will be working from a drawing template. Remember that when you create drawings, keep the IPT file open so that Inventor can automatically load your part into the drawing file. Once we have set up our drawings, the first important step is to place our views. To start, we will select Base in the top right corner, which will allow us to place our first view. This will be, in our case, our front view. Once you have placed this view, take note of the scale and ensure that you have an appropriate scale such that there will be minimal clutter and enough space for the rest of your views and dimensions. Once you have placed your base, you can move the mouse to where you want to place your next view, then left click to add. Once you have placed all your views, you can hit OK. Let's go over how to do this in Inventor. Let's go ahead and create an engineering drawing for this part. While we have this part open, let's hit File and select Open, and then we can open an existing drawing template. We will be working with this simple drawing template created specifically for 1P10, allowing us to skip the setup for the drawing. Let's go ahead and select Base, which is in the top right corner, under the Place Views tab. Let's place our front view in the bottom left corner of our drawing. We can then go ahead and change the label and name it Front. We can now change the scale to make our view smaller or larger. Recall that scale is the drawing size relative to the original object, where the drawing size is the first number and the original size is the second number. For example, 2:1 means that the drawing is 2 times the size of the original object, and 1:2 means that the drawing is half the size of the original object. We will select a scale of 3:2 or 1.5. We can now drag our mouse to where we want to place our additional views, and left click when we are happy with their placement. Note that you can include an isometric pictorial by moving your mouse diagonally from the base part and clicking, but this pictorial is not necessary. We can now change the style of our drawing so that it is simply the outlines of our views. We want to show hidden lines, so we will keep hidden lines selected, and we do not want the shading included, so let's unselect that. Once that is done, we can hit OK and our drawing will be updated. Helpful to note, when you hover over each view in our drawing, the same view will be highlighted in the browser. This is helpful when you want to go into a view and edit its appearance. Note the hierarchy and that any changes made to the base view will change the rest of the views. Let's go into each view and label them appropriately. This will be helpful when we later want to annotate our drawings. We will now go over creating section views. In the Create section of the ribbon, you will find the Section tool. Go ahead and click that so we can show a cross-section of our part. When we click this tool, we will first need to draw a line to indicate where we want to create the section. We will draw a line halfway through the holes to get that cross-section. When you are done creating the line, right-click and hit Continue. A window will pop up so that we can further detail our section view. The light bulb is for label visibility, so let's unclick the light bulb that our label for now will not be shown. We will change the style to match the rest of our drawing by selecting hidden edges and unselecting shading. Finally, we will select cut edges as smooth and hit OK. We can go ahead and reposition this view since it is unaligned. Now that we have placed this view, it is a good idea to actually have the label present to avoid any confusion. We can turn on the light bulb so that the label is visible. It is now labeled section AA, which corresponds with the small arrows labeled A, indicating the section on our top view. Since the scale is the same as the rest of the drawing, we can remove that. Double-click on the label and we can delete scale in this dialog box. Then hit OK. Now we have all the views that we need for our engineering drawing, and we can go ahead and start annotating. This concludes our video on placing views in engineering drawings.